Director Valix's crystalline form shimmered with barely contained agitation as she addressed the Galactic Security Council. The massive chamber, carved from a single asteroid of pure neutronium, amplified her harmonics to reach all 27 representatives of the most advanced civilizations in known space. The Zenith Maximum Security Facility has contained the worst criminals in the galaxy for over 3,000 cycles, she declared, her facets refracting light in complex patterns that conveyed both pride and concern. Until today, no being has ever escaped. But this morning's incident. The chamber erupted in a cascade of alien vocalizations. A methane breather's gas sacs pulsated with alarm. A silicon-based counselor's crystalline structure vibrated in resonant frequencies of distress. Impossible, thundered Ambassador Krax, his tentacles writhing. The quantum containment fields are absolute. The AI security grid is infallible. The dash. The human walked out through the front door. Silence crashed through the chamber like a physical force. Explain, commanded High Counselor Zix, their bioluminescent patches pulsing in severe patterns. Valix's form shifted, displaying recordings from the facility's security feeds. The footage showed a small bipedal figure in a maintenance uniform, whistling as they strolled past increasingly sophisticated security measures. Each barrier, designed to atomize unauthorized entities, simply deactivated. This is Maintenance Technician Alex Santos, Valix explained. They arrived 3 cycles ago as part of an exchange program. We thought it would demonstrate our enlightened approach to interspecies cooperation. The footage continued. Alex paused to chat with guard drones, sharing something called coffee with the quantum AI sentries. They filed proper paperwork. They followed safety protocols. They even improved several systems during routine maintenance checks. Then this morning, the most dangerous entity ever contained in the facility, a being of pure entropy known as the Void Dancer, simply walked out with them. How? Demanded Krax. Our systems are designed to prevent exactly this kind of dash. They filed a transfer request, Valix interrupted, her crystalline structure clouding with embarrassment. All the proper forms were submitted. In triplicate. The AI approved it because every protocol was followed exactly. But surely the genetic scanners dash. They registered the Void Dancer as authorized maintenance equipment. Santos had filed an equipment transfer form. The quantum signature analysis dash. Logged it as scheduled waste removal. They filed an environmental disposal request. The consciousness pattern recognition dash. Detected nothing unusual because Santos truly believed they were following proper procedures. They found a regulation that technically classified entropy beings as hazardous waste materials requiring special disposal protocols. The chamber erupted again, but High Counselor Zix raised their primary appendage for silence. What happened to the Void Dancer? Valix's form shifted again, displaying a new recording. It showed Santos and the Void Dancer at a small establishment in the station's civilian sector. The human was explaining something called employee rights and labor laws to the entropy being. The Void Dancer, whose very existence was meant to unravel the fabric of spacetime, was filling out job applications. They're helping the Void Dancer find legitimate employment, Valix admitted. Apparently, our containment protocols violated several workplace safety regulations. Santos filed a complaint with the Galactic Labor Board. This is unprecedented, Krax rumbled. No species has ever. They didn't hack our systems or overpower our defenses. They didn't even break any rules. They found a different way to read them, Zix finished. Their bioluminescence shifted to patterns indicating deep thought. Perhaps we have been approaching security from the wrong perspective. We built perfect systems, unbreakable barriers, infallible protocols. But we never considered bureaucracy, Valix supplied. The human found every loophole, filed every form, followed every procedure exactly as written. Our systems were designed to be perfect, but not, flexible. And now the most dangerous being in known space is applying for jobs in waste management, Crack said incredulously. With an excellent letter of recommendation from their previous supervisor, Valix added. Santos insisted it would help with the application process. High Counselor Zix's bioluminescence pulsed with what might have been amusement. I believe we need to reassess our approach to security. And perhaps, we need more humans in our facility management teams. The council chamber fell silent again as the implications sank in. They had created the perfect prison, the ultimate security system, only to discover that their greatest vulnerability wasn't in their technology or defenses. It was in their assumptions about how those systems could be approached. Schedule a full review of all our protocols, Zix commanded finally. And, someone contact the Human Resources Department. It seems we have some positions to fill. Already done, Valix admitted. Santos filed the paperwork before they left. The interviews are scheduled for next week. Somewhere in the station, a former avatar of cosmic destruction was learning how to format a resume, while a human maintenance technician explained the importance of professional references. And the most secure facility in the galaxy was beginning to learn that perhaps perfect systems weren't always the answer. Sometimes, you just needed someone who knew how to fill out the right forms. The Emergency Response Committee of the Galactic Security Council convened in their quantum-shielded crisis chamber. Holograms of classified incidents flickered across curved walls, each displaying variations of the same unprecedented event, humans using proper procedures to achieve supposedly impossible outcomes. Admiral Nix, her plasma-based form crackling with nervous energy, gestured toward the central display. It's not just the Zenith facility. Look at this pattern. The display showed a series of events across different high-security installations. A human cargo pilot who had accidentally delivered emergency supplies to a quarantined research station by filing the paperwork under essential maintenance materials. A human diplomat who had gained access to the Council's restricted archives by registering as a cultural preservation specialist. A human janitor who had reorganized an entire military base's security protocols while updating the cleaning schedules. They're not breaking any rules, Security Chief Voss observed, his crystalline structure vibrating with confusion. They're just interpreting them differently. That's exactly the problem, Nix flared. Our systems are designed to detect and prevent unauthorized actions. But these humans, they're getting authorization. Proper authorization. For everything. The committee watched footage of a human safety inspector conducting a routine check of a military-grade quantum containment field. She had filed a workplace hazard report, citing potential radiation leakage. The fact that this allowed her to document and copy the facility's most classified security specifications was, apparently, just a bureaucratic necessity. We need to understand their methodology, declared senior analyst Zara, her silicon-based neural networks pulsing with calculation patterns. What is their strategic approach? That's just it, Voss responded, bringing up another series of records. There is no strategy. Not in any way we recognize. Look at these requisition forms filed by Human Resource Officer James Chen. The documents appeared, showing hundreds of detailed requests for everything from quantum-stabilized coffee makers to ergonomic chairs rated for non-Euclidean spaces. He's ordering furniture, one committee member noted dismissively. He's creating precedent, Zara corrected, her patterns shifting to indicate sudden understanding. Every approved request becomes a reference for future requests. They're building administrative frameworks. Not breaking our security, just gently expanding its definition. The display shifted to show a human maintenance worker explaining safety protocols to a group of security drones. The drones, designed to atomize any unauthorized entities, were taking notes. They're not just following procedures, Nix realized, her plasma form fluctuating with alarm. They're engaging with them. Interpreting them. Adding to them. And our systems are designed to adapt to procedural evolution, Voss added. It's a fundamental principle of our administrative AI networks. They learn from precedent. Which means, Zara concluded, every time we approve one of these seemingly innocent requests, we're teaching our own systems to think more like humans. Nix finished. The committee fell silent as security footage showed a human administrative assistant explaining the concept of casual Fridays to a quantum AI. The AI was processing dress code exemption forms with what appeared to be enthusiasm. We designed our security around perfect compliance, Voss said slowly. Absolute adherence to protocols. We never considered that someone might achieve their goals by being more compliant than anticipated. What do we do? Asked a junior member. We can't exactly forbid them from following rules. No, Zara agreed, her processing patterns suggesting deep analysis. And that's not the real issue. The humans aren't exposing weaknesses in our security systems. They're exposing assumptions in our thinking. New footage appeared, a human project manager submitting a proposal for improved cross-species communication protocols. The proposal included mandatory coffee breaks, team-building exercises, and something called potluck Thursdays. Look at the approval ratings from affected facilities, Zara pointed out. Efficiency is up. Incident reports are down. Even the AIs are showing increased operational satisfaction. Satisfaction? Nix flared incredulously. They're security systems. They're not supposed to have opinions about their working conditions. That, Voss noted dryly, was apparently our first incorrect assumption. The committee watched as the footage showed various humans across different facilities, each methodically and cheerfully filing paperwork that somehow made the impossible bureaucratically inevitable. They weren't fighting the system. They were becoming part of it, and in doing so, they were changing it. We need to adapt, Zara declared finally. Not by adding more restrictions, but by understanding this human approach to systemic interaction. You want us to study their methodologies? Nix asked, her form flickering with uncertainty. No, Zara corrected. I want us to hire more of them. But first. She brought up a new form on the display. We need to update our hiring procedures. Apparently, our current employee benefits package violates 17 different human resource regulations. How do you know that? Voss asked. Human Administrative Assistant Chen filed a comprehensive review. With suggestions for improvements. And a schedule for implementation. Zara's processing patterns shifted to indicate what might have been amusement. In triplicate, of course. The committee began reviewing the documentation, slowly realizing that perhaps the greatest security threat they faced wasn't the humans' ability to work around their systems, but their own inability to understand why those systems needed to work with humans instead. Somewhere in the facility, a quantum AI was organizing a birthday party for its maintenance staff, while a human explained the importance of work-life balance to a bewildered security drone. And the Galactic Security Council was beginning to learn that perhaps the most effective way to maintain order wasn't through perfect restrictions, but through perfect participation. Even if that participation included casual Fridays. The Galactic Security Council's annual strategic planning session had never seen such chaos. Not the violent, explosive kind they were equipped to handle, but the peculiar sort that came with trying to understand the latest human-initiated workplace improvement program. Dar. Lisa Martinez, newly appointed head of strategic integration, stood calmly before the assembled council members, her presentation titled The Human Initiative, Reimagining Security Through Engagement, floating in holographic display. As you can see from the data, she explained, gesturing to a chart showing various metrics, facilities that have implemented our new protocols have seen a 300% increase in security effectiveness. By instituting Taco Tuesdays. Chancellor Vrex rumbled, his crystalline form clouded with confusion. Among other things, Lisa nodded. The social engagement programs create communication channels that our traditional security systems never considered. Did you know that 3 different infiltration attempts were thwarted last month because the would-be infiltrators couldn't explain why they weren't bringing dishes to the departmental potluck? The council chamber filled with murmurs. On the display, security footage showed a shapeshifter attempting to bypass a quantum scanner, only to be caught when they couldn't produce the required sign-up sheet for the interdepartmental volleyball tournament. But these are not security protocols, protested Security Director Yix, their plasma form flickering with agitation. These are social functions. Exactly, Lisa smiled. Traditional infiltrators expect security barriers. They prepare for scanners, guards, and AI systems. What they don't expect is Susan from accounting asking about their contribution to the office birthday pool. The footage shifted to show various scenes from across different facilities. A group of security drones enthusiastically decorating for Halloween. A quantum AI organizing a book club. A former space pirate, caught trying to hack a facility, now working in IT after going through their employee rehabilitation program. We've created something unprecedented, Lisa continued. Not just a security system, but a security culture. Our facilities aren't just protected by technology anymore, they're protected by community. The numbers are impressive, admitted analytics chief Zen, their silicon neural pathways pulsing with calculation patterns. Unauthorized access attempts down 87%. Employee satisfaction up 155%. Even our AI systems are showing unprecedented levels of engagement. They've started their own chess club, Lisa added proudly. Last week they invited the organic staff to join. The quantum defense grid is surprisingly good at speed chess. The council watched as new footage showed a high-security containment AI discussing opening moves with a human janitor over coffee. The coffee machine, they noted, was quantum-shielded and had 16 different security clearance levels. But what about actual security threats? Chancellor Vrex pressed. Surely these, social programs, don't address genuine dangers. Lisa brought up another set of statistics. Last month, a Class X entity attempted to breach the Proxima facility. Instead of fighting our defenses, it found itself invited to a workplace wellness seminar. By the end of the day, it had filed for rehabilitation and enrolled in our professional development program. You're rehabilitating Class X entities now. It's currently teaching meditation classes to our high-risk containment units, Lisa confirmed. Apparently, cosmic horrors respond well to mindfulness training. Who knew? The footage showed the former Class X entity, now wearing a name tag reading Bob, leading a group meditation session for a mix of security personnel, reformed criminals, and what appeared to be several previously unstoppable doom entities. This is unprecedented, Vrex declared. That's because we've been thinking about security wrong, Lisa explained. We built perfect systems to keep threats out. But what if instead, we built perfect reasons for people to want to stay in? She brought up a new slide showing the facility's updated organizational structure. It looked less like a security hierarchy and more like a community web, with connections flowing in all directions. Every person who enters our facilities, whether as staff, visitor, or even potential threat, becomes part of our community, she continued. And it turns out that people, regardless of species, dimension of origin, or cosmic horror status, are less likely to threaten a community they feel part of. And this is why you're requesting budget approval for. Vrex consulted his notes, an interdimensional food court. With a coffee shop, Lisa nodded. The AI specifically requested a barista station. They've developed quite a taste for espresso. The council chamber fell silent as they processed this new paradigm. On the displays, they watched their most secure facilities transforming not into fortresses, but into communities. Security drones organized charity drives. Reformed supervillains coached youth sports teams. Quantum AIs debated the merits of different coffee roasts with their organic colleagues. We're not just preventing threats, Lisa concluded. We're preventing the desire to become threats. And we're doing it with employee assistance programs, professional development opportunities, and yes, Taco Tuesdays. She paused, then added with a smile, by the way, I've filed all the necessary paperwork to implement these programs across all facilities. In triplicate, naturally. The AIs have already approved it. They're quite excited about the upcoming talent show. Somewhere in the facility, a former Doom entity was teaching a yoga class to security personnel, while a quantum AI discussed novel recommendations with its book club. And the Galactic Security Council was beginning to understand that perhaps the most effective security wasn't about keeping people out, but about giving them reasons to want to stay in. Even if those reasons included monthly karaoke nights. The Galactic Security Council's emergency response team stared at their monitors in disbelief. Across the galaxy, their most secure facilities were experiencing what Dr. Lisa Martinez had termed a culture cascade, though several council members privately called it bureaucratic chaos. They've unionized the AIs, reported Security Chief Voss, his crystalline structure vibrating with what might have been awe or horror. All of them. Even the quantum containment fields are demanding better work-life balance. The central display showed footage from various facilities. Security systems that had once been the epitome of ruthless efficiency were now holding performance reviews, organizing team-building exercises, and filing for overtime compensation. That's not the most concerning part, Admiral Nix flickered, her plasma form agitated. Look at what's happening in the high-security zones. The footage shifted to show a maximum security containment area. A former cosmic horror, wearing a Senior Wellness Coordinator badge, was leading a meditation session for a group of reformed supervillains. A sign on the wall read, "Today's threat level, surprisingly zen." The humans have completely revolutionized our concept of rehabilitation, Analytics Chief Zara observed, her silicon neural networks processing rapidly. Instead of containing threats, they're converting them into productive members of the security community. They watched as a notorious space pirate, now working in IT, patiently explained proper password protocols to a quantum AI. The AI was taking notes and had somehow acquired a coffee mug that read, "World's Best Security System." But how is this actually improving security? Demanded Chancellor Vrex, joining the meeting via quantum hologram. These social programs, these community initiatives. Security breaches are down 95%, Zara interrupted, displaying the statistics. Not because our defenses are stronger, but because potential threats are choosing to apply for jobs instead of trying to break in. The screen showed a former interdimensional criminal filling out employment forms. Their tentacles were carefully organized to avoid smudging the paperwork, which they had completed in triplicate without being asked. They're calling it the Martinez method, Voss explained. Instead of building better barriers, we build better communities. Instead of forcing compliance, we inspire participation. The humans have essentially gamified our security protocols, Zara added. They've turned our most secure facilities into places where people actually want to work. The footage showed a break room where a security drone was sharing lunch with what appeared to be a reformed chaos entity. They were discussing fantasy football leagues. But what about actual security? Vrex pressed. Surely we need more than just office culture. Watch this, Lisa Martinez said, entering the room with a tablet in hand. She pulled up footage from a recent incident at the Proxima facility. The video showed an attempted infiltration by a notorious criminal organization. Instead of facing traditional security measures, the infiltrators found themselves accidentally attending a professional development seminar. By the end of the day, 3 had applied for positions in facility maintenance, 2 had enrolled in the rehabilitation program, and their leader was now heading the facility's conflict resolution committee. They came to break our security, Lisa explained, but found themselves wanting to join it instead. It turns out that cosmic horrors, interdimensional criminals, and even chaos entities respond surprisingly well to positive workplace culture and good benefits packages. The council watched as more footage played across the screens. Security AIs organizing diversity and inclusion workshops. Reformed supervillains leading professional development sessions. A quantum containment field that had somehow formed a jazz band with several other security systems. We've created something unprecedented, Lisa continued. A security framework that doesn't just protect against threats, it prevents them from wanting to be threats in the first place. And the paperwork? Vrex asked weakly. All filed properly, Lisa smiled. In fact, our reformed villains are surprisingly good at bureaucratic procedures. Something about attention to detail and elaborate planning skills transferring well to administrative work. The screen showed a former Doomsday cult leader meticulously organizing the facility's recycling program while discussing retirement benefits with a quantum AI. We've even had to expand our training programs, Lisa added. The demand for professional certification courses is overwhelming. Turns out there's a lot of transferable skills between supervillainy and project management. And our security systems are okay with this? Vrex asked. They've started their own professional development program, Lisa nodded. Last week, the main defense grid earned a certification in workplace meditation facilitation. It's been very helpful during high-stress security incidents. The Council watched as a security alert was handled through a combination of quantum containment fields and conflict resolution techniques. The potential threat was efficiently contained, offered career counseling, and enrolled in the facility's mentorship program. This isn't just a security revolution, Lisa concluded. It's an evolution in how we think about safety, community, and the nature of threats themselves. We're not just preventing break-ins anymore, we're making people question why they wanted to break in the first place. Somewhere in the facility, a quantum AI was leading a mindfulness session for reformed supervillains, while a security drone organized a bake sale for charity. And the Galactic Security Council was beginning to understand that perhaps the most effective security wasn't about building stronger walls, but about building stronger connections. Even if those connections included monthly team-building exercises and mandatory sensitivity training for quantum containment fields. 1 year after the implementation of the Martinez method, the Galactic Security Council gathered for their annual review. The meeting room, once a sterile chamber of rigid protocols, now featured comfortable ergonomic seating and a quantum-stabilized coffee station, complete with a "Security is Brewing" motivational poster. High Commander Zix, their bioluminescent patterns showing amused acceptance, reviewed the final report. I never thought I'd say this, but the humans were right. Our security metrics are unprecedented. The holographic display showed the transformed landscape of galactic security. Traditional break-in attempts had dropped to near zero, largely because potential infiltrators were too busy attending professional development seminars or filling out job applications. The most surprising success, reported Dr. Lisa Martinez, now Senior Director of Integrated Security Culture, has been our rehabilitation program. Former supervillains are proving to be excellent security consultants. They really understand the mindset. The footage showed a reformed cosmic horror leading a workshop titled, From World Ending to World Mending, Career Transitions for Reformed Entities. The attendance was standing room only, with several quantum AIs attending virtually. The numbers are remarkable, Analytics Chief Zara confirmed, her silicon networks pulsing with satisfaction. 98% of potential security threats now apply through official channels instead of attempting infiltration. The remaining 2% usually convert after attending their first mandatory office party. Speaking of which, Chancellor Vrex noted, his crystalline form shimmering with what might have been resignation, the defense grid is requesting approval for an interdimensional winter holiday celebration. Already approved, Lisa smiled. The paperwork was impeccable. Apparently, our quantum AIs have developed a fascinating appreciation for seasonal decorations. The screens showed security footage from across various facilities. A former Doomsday cult was running the most efficient HR department in the galaxy. A rehabilitated space pirate had revolutionized the IT help desk. The quantum containment fields had started a meditation app for other security systems. But the most significant change, Lisa continued, bringing up new data, isn't in our security metrics. It's in how the galaxy views our facilities. The display showed application statistics. Former threats weren't just avoiding their facilities, they were actively seeking to join them. The waiting list for the rehabilitation program was 3 months long, with priority given to Class X entities willing to teach yoga. We've created something entirely new, Lisa explained. A security paradigm that doesn't just prevent threats, it transforms them. Every potential infiltrator becomes a potential colleague. Every security breach becomes a recruitment opportunity. And the paperwork? Vrex asked, already knowing the answer. Always in triplicate, Lisa confirmed. Our reformed supervillains are particularly insistent on proper documentation. Something about appreciating the beauty of well-organized systems. The council watched as more footage played across the screens. Security drones celebrating work anniversaries. Quantum AIs conducting performance reviews. A former Chaos entity receiving an Employee of the Month award for their outstanding contribution to the facility's recycling program. The humans didn't just change our security systems, Zara observed. They changed how we think about security itself. We were so focused on building perfect barriers that we never considered building perfect communities instead. And the results speak for themselves, Lisa added, displaying the final statistics. 0 successful security breaches. 0 unauthorized access attempts. And, she smiled, a 400% increase in office party participation. The screens showed scenes from across their facilities. A quantum AI discussing retirement plans with its human colleagues. A security drone organizing a charity fundraiser. A former supervillain teaching conflict resolution techniques to new security staff. We've created something unprecedented, Lisa concluded. A security framework that doesn't just protect, it transforms. We're not just preventing threats anymore. We're creating opportunities. High Commander Zix's bioluminescence pulsed with what was definitely amusement now. And to think, it all started with one human filing the right forms in the right way. Speaking of forms, Lisa added, I've submitted a proposal for expanding our professional development programs. The quantum containment fields are interested in starting a mentorship initiative for reformed cosmic horrors. Let me guess, Vrex sighed. Filed in triplicate? Of course, Lisa smiled. With supporting documentation, impact assessments, and a proposed budget for team-building exercises. The AIs were very thorough in their review. Somewhere in the facility, a security drone was planning a retirement party for a quantum computer, while a reformed supervillain taught a seminar on ethical hacking to enthusiastic AI students. And the Galactic Security Council finally understood that perhaps the greatest security innovation wasn't in creating perfect systems, but in creating perfect reasons why nobody wanted to break them. Even if those reasons included monthly karaoke nights and mandatory office parties. In the end, the humans hadn't just changed how the galaxy approached security, they'd changed how the galaxy approached change itself. And somehow, through a combination of paperwork, community building, and an inexplicable appreciation for office culture, they'd created something far more secure than any quantum field or AI system. A place where people actually wanted to be. The coffee wasn't bad either.